What's up, guys? It's your boy Blink, and today we're going to be playing Diana.
A new moon is rising.
Now, if you don't know what Diana does, first, her colors are blue and purple, and her ability is she can react to exhaust herself to add 1 energy. Now, you can only spend this energy only during showdowns. There are 2 types of showdowns: open showdowns and combat showdowns. An open showdown is when you are taking control of a battlefield that neither you nor your opponent controls, meaning you're the first one ever moving into it, trying to take control of it, or in other words, conquering. Then a combat showdown is you attempting to take a battlefield from your opponent, or your opponent is attempting to take the battlefield from you. For our chosen champion, we're going to be using Diana Lunari, 3-drop, 3 might, and it says when a showdown begins here, you may pay 1 energy. If you do, predict, then reveal a top card of your main deck. If it's a spell, you get to draw it. For our battlefields running Targon's Peak, it says when you conquer, ready 2 runes at the end of this turn. Usually you get your Ravenbloom Student out. You're going first, right? Ravenbloom Student, drop her down. You pass turn, comes right back to you. You go to this battlefield, right? You conquer it. You can usually then play your Diana Lunari down, and then you'll be able to ready 2 runes. So realistically, you'll have 3 runes readied up, plus also your ability for your legend, if you haven't used it, of course. So you would have like 4 energies at the ready, 3 if they don't start a showdown, but if they do start a showdown, then you can use her ability as well and have 4 right then and there. And then we have Ravenbloom Conservatory. It's basically just what Diana Lunari does. The only condition is when you defend here. And then what happens is you reveal the top card of your main deck. If it's a spell, you put it in your hand, otherwise recycle it. This can be really good because you don't have to pay the 1 energy to look into top of your hand to see if you get the spell. The only thing I would just say here is that it's when you defend here. With Diana Lunari, it's just when a shutdown begins where she's at. So it's not that big of a loss. It helps either way. And then we have Abandoned Hall. When a player plays a spell, they may give a unit they control here +1 this turn. It's very strong for units like Ravenbloom Student, where she can go up by 1 might for every spell that is played. If you want to know what a spell means when it's played in Riftbound, it's when a spell resolves. So if it gets countered, she will not get the +1. So realistically, how the example will go, you'd play Ravenbloom Student, like she's at the battlefield, right? You'd play, let's say, a Stupefy. She'll go up by 2. She's at this battlefield because she's getting 1 for the spell and 1 for the Abandoned Hall. Now, it is strong for other units, but I feel like she uses it the most effective, if that makes sense. And then for runes, we are going to be using 6 Mind Runes and 6 Chaos Runes. Now, this is going to be a very spell-heavy deck. Running 3 Stupefy gives a unit -1 this turn to a minimum of 1, so you cannot drop into 0 if you're trying to. And it just also allows you to draw 1. Very cheap card, still very useful card. It also comes at reaction speed. And then we have Gust. Running 3 of these, you are going to be trying to stop the early game a lot on your opponent's side. Definitely to get rid of 2 drops. If a Fizz gets played to a battlefield, you can Gust him and all that stuff and bring him right back because he will no longer be played because you sent them back to the person's hand. Also, if you're playing against like LeBlanc players, very useful, especially when they're trying to copy a unit. Let's say it's like a 2-drop or a 3-drop. You can then just Gust them. A 2 might, 3 might, you just Gust them right there, and then they just waste their discard ability. Like they just discard a card for no reason, basically. Then you got Ride the Wind, just to get your units to move around. Really helpful, especially we have Hwei in this deck, so he's going to become pretty lethal, especially with Ride the Wind. And then we're running 3 stack decks because we want to look through our hand and find what we need. Let's say if we need that Hwei or we need that Fizz right then and there, that stack deck is going to help us a ton. Acceptable losses, each player kills 1 of their gear. One thing I noticed with this deck before acceptable losses and turn to dust was even in this deck, Diana struggles with gear. So these kind of help that. Also, if you're playing, let's say, Ravenbloom and you want to get that +1, you could play this. It says each player kills 1 of their gear. You don't have to actually have gear there. It's kind of like Call of the Week. Each player kills 1 of their units, even if your opponent doesn't even have a unit there. So that's how it will go. And then we're running Hard Bargain. This is a 2-drop, and at reaction speed, you can also repeat this for another 2. Long story short, what it does, you counter a spell unless its controller pays 2 energy. So if you repeated this again, they would have to pay 4 energy. Now they can kind of get over this with a Defy, so just be careful with that. And then running 2 Star-Cross is really just to control our enemy's tempo, send them back to hand while we're like probably just sending like a little 2-drop like a Tideturner or Ravenbloom Student. And then running 2 Moonfalls. Long story short, what it does, it says choose a battlefield where you have units. You may move up to 1 enemy unit to that battlefield. then give enemy units their -2 this turn. Comes at action speed. Very cheap spell, 3 energy, 1 power of either blue or purple. How many units there are, let's say there's 5, all 5 of them are going to be getting -2. Now, the only way I would say you're going to be paying a deflect cost is the first piece of the text where it says choose a battlefield where you have units. You may move up to 1 enemy unit. That's where you're going to be choosing them. But this like little example there, it gets around that. And then running 1 smoke screen, it gives a unit -4 this turn. And running 1 flash. This is a kind of another way to just defend your units. Also, it can be a play to use your Hwei, pull them back. Actually, I'll give you a perfect example. He passes back turn to you, your Hwei's on the battlefield, he's ready. You could pull back with the flash, get that move trigger, draw 1. If you wanted to bring up a unit or just draw another spell, there you go. But then you can move into the other battlefield because he was readied, move back in against the other battlefield, and have another chance at doing something. You can get very versatile. This deck is very fun, very technical, but it can be pretty unforgiving if you don't make certain right choices. It's not like straightforward, I would say that. It's not like how, for example, like Vex, like playing the Legend of Vex. I feel like it's a little more challenging or a little bit more of like, this deck takes a lot more time to get used to, I would say. And then we have Turn to Dust, give a gear temporary. This is definitely for like Dazzling Auroras or a lot of other gear heavy decks. We all know about Ornn. We all know about Irelia and Fiora. Those examples right there. Then for our units, we're running 3 Ravenbloom Students. When you play a spell, give me +1 this turn. She's going to get stronger every time a spell resolves. I keep saying that because I don't know too much about Legends Rune Terra. From my friend, he was saying that back then how she would work was as soon as the spell is played, she would get the +1. It would just happen. Versus in Riftbound, a spell is considered played when it resolves. And then we also have Tideturner. When you play me, you may choose a friendly unit, move me to its location and to my original location. Now, the thing is that I went to a little mistake with my last video of using Tideturner. Actually, I think no, it was going up against Tideturner. That's what happened. So let's say Vex Apathetic, right? The opponent has a Vex Apathetic on the battlefield. You play Tideturner down, right? You want to switch probably the Hwei out. The Tideturner will get stunned. So, it would not happen. Actually, the Hwei would still get moved back, which it was pretty odd for me. I'm just like, for the person who's going against that opponent that does that, that's annoying. But for me, since I'm using it, that's actually still useful in a kind of way. Now, you will be losing control of the battlefield, however, at least you still get to do the move trigger of getting that 1 unit that you wanted that was already on the board to where it needs to be. Then we have Traveling Merchant. When I move, discard 1, then draw 1. This, I mostly just use him for, I'm not gonna lie, if he's my first 2 drop in turn 1, it's not my favorite one. It's always gonna be Ravenbloom Student. However, what's so good about Traveling Merchant in this deck, how I use him mostly is whenever I want to get rid of a spell that I really don't need in that moment, I just put it into the discard pile because maybe I may need it in the future, and Fizz can just pull it out. So you can just keep filling up your discard pile. And they're running 3 Hweis. Brooding Painters. When I move, draw 1, then discard 1. Then do the following based on the discarded card types. Spell, you get to draw 1. Gear, there's no gear in this deck, so you're not really going to worry about it. But anyways, it raises 2 runes. And for if you discard a unit, give me +3 this turn. This guy is going to be definitely a staple in your deck and one of your most annoying cards for your opponent. And then Fizz Trickster. When you play me, you may play a spell from your trash with energy cost that is no more than 3 energy, ignoring its energy cost. Recycle that spell after you play it. You must still pay its power cost. Only thing is just keep in mind that when you are playing a spell from the trash with Fizz, once it's used, it has to get recycled. I think even if it gets countered, it still gets recycled. I'm not totally sure with that, but I'm pretty sure if it still gets countered, it's recycled. And they're running 1 Vex Cheerless. While I'm in combat, friendly spells cost 1 energy and 1 power less to a minimum of 1 energy, and enemy spells cost 1 energy and 1 power more. She is very annoying. One thing I'm going to tell you when you're playing with Vex Cheerless, a lot of the opponents are going to hate her so much that she wants to get her out. They're going to treat her just like the Vex Apathetic. I'm not going to lie. And they're running 2 Singularities because we want more of that little nuke action. Just get out of my face. I don't want to deal with you. Especially for those aggro quick decks like Annie or even Rek'Sai. Singularity, deal 6 to each up to 2 units. I would say you're actually going to be pretty fine, especially against a Rek'Sai, because red and yellow don't really have, they don't have a counter spell. And I don't even count Fiora's because it's a signature spell. Yes, it's orange and yellow, but that's her own little spell. And orange does have, I think, repulsor or something like that, which Rek'Sai doesn't have access to because it's red and yellow. Versus with Annie, you are going to have a little more trouble in terms of abandon or even going up against, let's say, hard bargain. But hey, I'm willing to take that gamble because of Singularity. So this is really good just to wipe out certain units if you want to get rid of them. And then Baron Nashor, very straightforward, I'm not going to lie. But I'm still going to explain. As you play him, you get to add the Baron Pit. The Baron Pit, if you don't know, is a third battlefield that you can play onto the board. And if it's not already there, he enters there. That's what's pretty cool about it. So that's a free point for you. 9 times out of 10 is going to be a free point for you because I can't be chosen by enemy spells, and I cannot be chosen by abilities, so you're safe from an Elder Dragon's play ability, which is awesome, but I cannot say for the, I think it's called Flurry of Blades trigger for that Dazzling Aurora. If you don't know the play, here's what you would do for Dazzling Aurora. Flurry of Blades into a Dazzling Aurora, get the Elder Dragon, everything like a hit bite on the battlefield dies because of his ability. So, he also empowers his friends. Sorry, I can't even say that because Vendetta's out, but I don't want to get the wrong idea. But he pumps his friends up by +2 might. So whatever was at 4 might goes to now 2 might, and that happens anywhere. They don't need to be near him. They just gotta be on the board. So that's like pretty strong right there as well. Usually when you're playing this little Baron Nash, you kind of get your opponent to off the battlefield, control his hand, control how he plays, mess up his tempo in order to get the Baron Nash out as quick as possible and actually be effective. He is a strong unit. But guys, he will not be effective if, let's say, that your opponent's at 7 points, you just passed him finally, and then he's gonna become completely useless. Just because the unit is a big-minded unit, it can become less effective if you can't even get to your opponent at all. You know what I'm saying? Then we got another Vex Cheerless, just in case we want to make our opponent have a even harder time. You know, spells even more expensive. You already know how it goes. So we just want to also find our Vex Cheerless even faster. Turn to Dust in case we want more gear removal. I'm not gonna say too much here, just give gear temporary. Starcross, we want more removal. Just controlling our opponents, you know, sending them back to hand and all that stuff. So we give our more time to think. So yeah. And another Moonfall in case we need a little more combat tricks. Also if we just need to find our Moonfall a little bit faster. Having 2 is great, but 3 is even better. Having 1 is just like you're never gonna see it unless you get super lucky. If you do enjoy this deck, I'm gonna leave it down in the description so you guys have nothing to worry about. All you gotta do is copy it and put it in TCG Arena or Rift Atlas, whatever place you like to play Riftbound at. Without further ado, let's get into the video. This, do that. Against a Fiora. Let's do this. I'm gonna be going first. Mulligan. We have our 2-drop. We have a Hwei. It's a good setup. We got a good setup. Now we just gotta be careful with her riposte. Okay, cool. So first, we're gonna start by playing our Ravenbloom Student, and then we'll just pass our turn. We do gotta be careful because he's playing the this rift seems a little familiar, but we can move into this battlefield. I'll give a thumbs up right there. Cool. We can also do the Diana. Yeah, I'll place the Diana there. And then I'll just pass. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's bringing her in. Perfect. Then connecting that to her. And then we'll trigger the Fiora ability. She's at 6 now. She'll go to 7 when she comes to shield. So this is gonna be pretty good. And pass his turn. Alright, so we're gonna be going to 2. First move into, do we even have what I need? We can like move back. Go here. Do this. Let's see what we get. Reveal. Comes to hand to Gust. I tried to send her to her death. I ain't gonna cap. But we can drop another Ravenbloom just down, and then we can just pass turns. Not that bad. So first we can start by doing. Oh shoot, sorry, I'm at 3 now. Let me just put a little thinking. So we can either Stupefy her, we can Gust her. We can't Gust her. But what I could do is this. Use Ride the Wind. Is that fair? Cool with that? Now that tells me he has something. I guess. Cool. Now he's probably gonna try to. He has a first mate, I think. Cool. gonna go to 4 now. We just conquered that. Alright, where you first my showdown resolves. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, cool. So you go to 1 for yours. But I do draw before. Cool. The thing is that I am gonna probably throw in a hard bargain right now. I might do it now. Which actually is my fault, yeah. But I do draw before. Alright, cool. So we go to 4. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. And then it's back to him. Just doing whatever he has to do. I gotta say, like, playing this deck, it kind of opened my eyes to how to play other decks, because the thing is, certain decks are just pretty straightforward. This one is more like you gotta take your time and get used to it. Sure. Yeah, reveal. Cool with that. I could have reacted with something, but we'll see. Is it gonna be the hard bargain? It's gonna be the Stupefy. I don't think she can really pay attention to the stack deck or the Gust, so we should be fine. Alright, chose the Stupefy. Bottom. Oh shoot, idle. Shuffle. Nasty. Beautiful. Alright, cool. So the hard bargain part, I'm pretty sure, I'm surprised she didn't. Oh, here comes. Perfect. A Rengar Trophy Hunter. Interesting. Let's just look at this right now. With that, 1, 2, and 3. Most definitely gonna be using the and bottom. This. Alright, cool. Nice. I forgot also these two kind of left themselves their time to play the spell. Now we could go into who do we want to take care of? We can take actually both of these guys pretty easily. Yeah. The Rengar will be a problem, but she's just gonna gank over. So we should probably deal with this person more. That makes sense. I would say actually do this. Play a smokescreen, and then we will also just hide another there. So she's gonna go to 7, while I go to 3, and then she goes down to what? But she would lose the shield because she got lowered anyways. So yeah, she would just go down to 2, and then we'll go to 5. Well, this one is also a 3. Could I kill this one? I don't think so. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Play the Hwei like this, and then we can just pass turn. Now it's gonna be forced to deal with me over here. I could use the Red One, I could have, but I felt like dealing with the Fiora in the very beginning was a little more important. The Rengar is strong when it comes to ambushes, but he doesn't gank, so interesting. If it's another Rengar, I'm gonna lose it. I was about to say, what is this? When you play me, draw 1 for other units. Also, she's just a 2, and she is just a 2. I'm surprised on... This is gonna be an easy kill, really. Another draw. He's looking for a punch first, maybe? Like, he's gonna hide. Is he hiding something? It can only be a hidden blade or a face breaker. I don't know too many orange hiddens, but I do. I really mostly know that. That is actually surprising. We can move this back. We also go to 6. Move this back. Come over here. Do a little draw 1 for the gear. Oh, this is gonna be nasty. So do this. The acceptable losses. I will choose to discard the Ravenbloom Student to shoot this guy up to going to 8. and then he'll play the punch first, and then I'll play the hard bargain. So he doesn't get the punch first at all. He'll just die. Alright, cool. We'll go to 7. Now this is the thing. We go here, right? We will then play do a visible losses. That will get destroyed. Yeah, that's fine with me. That works. That works fine. 5, 2 and 2. I did play like acceptable losses, but like I said, I wasn't really looking for the Ravenbloom students to buff them. It's fine. Gust. I'll Gust this one. Now the thing is, there may be a riposte. Oh, I guess there wasn't. So 3, 3. So now she's going to have to deal with. Yeah, with this. Who do you want to kill? Dead. 3, 3. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Playing the Rengar. Okay. Let's see what he draws. It's not gonna be anything, so we win. That's nice.